So coming to medial longitudinal arch of the foot. So there are two longitudinal arch. There is medial longitudinal arch and there is a lateral longitudinal arch. So there are few points on which we have to discuss about the medial longitudinal arches of the foot. So what are the points? First one is the feature. So medial longitudinal arch is higher and mobile. So the medial longitudinal arch is very much higher, and since it is very much higher, so it will be mobile. So medial longitudinal arch is mobile. Lateral longitudinal arch feature is it is lower, non-mobile. Its restriction of mobility is there. So first one is feature. Second one is the end. So medial longitudinal arch, so there is a anterior end, there is a posterior end. So these are the first, second, third metatarsal. These are the cuneiforms, and this is navicular. So it is a lateral, intermediate and medial cuneiform. This is talus bone, this is calcaneum from lateral side, and from the medial side. From the lateral side there is a calcaneus cuboid, fifth and fourth metatarsal. So anterior end will be formed by the tip of the first, second, third metatarsal bone in medial longitudinal arch, and the posterior end is formed by the tubercle, this medial tubercle. So this is the medial tubercle of the calcaneum. And in case of lateral longitudinal arch, the anterior end is formed by the head of the fourth and fifth metatarsal, and the posterior end is formed by the lateral tubercle of the calcaneum. Now coming to the summit is formed by the superior articular surface of the talus in case of medial longitudinal arch. So superior articular surface of the talus, this is the talus bone. So superior articular surface of the talus forms the summit. It is the most upward portion, that is the summit. Okay, here the summit is formed by the superior articular surface of the calcaneum. Here it is formed by the superior surface of the calcaneum in lateral longitudinal arch. Now coming to the pillar. Pillar and end are different. Pillar is formed by the anterior pillar is formed by the first, second and the third metatarsal, the navicular bone and the talus and the three cuneiform. So cuneiform, lateral, intermediate, medial cuneiform, the navicular bone, the talus and the first, second and third metatarsal form the anterior pillar. And the posterior pillar is formed by the calcaneus, the medial half of the calcaneus. Here the posterior pillar in the lateral longitudinal arch, it is formed by the lateral half of the calcaneus, and the anterior pillar is formed by the fourth and the fifth uh, metatarsal, the cuboid. Okay, so this is all about the pillar. Now the main joint is the talocalcaneo-navicular joint. So talocalcaneo-navicular joint, which joins the anterior and the posterior pillar by the talocalcaneo-navicular joint. It is a ball and socket variety of joint. Talus is surface is the ball, and the calcaneo-navicular joint is the forms of socket. So talocalcaneo-navicular joint for the medial longitudinal arch is the main joint. Here the main joint is the calcaneo-cuboidal joint. So calcaneo-cuboidal joint is the main joint. Now comes to the bony factor. Bony factor for the medial and longitudinal arch, lateral longitudinal arch are same, that is the wedge shaped. Now coming to the intersegmental tie, that means the ligament which attach the intersegmental tie. So it is the spring ligament. So spring ligament is the main ligament which is the intersegmental tie. Here the long and short plantar ligament is the main ligament which forms the intersegmental tie. Now coming to the tie beam which forms the arch. The tie beam is the one which forms the arch of the foot, the medial longitudinal arch of the foot. So arch is formed by the plantar aponeurosis. So this is the plantar aponeurosis, and above the plantar aponeurosis the first layer of the sole muscle. So medially the first layer of the sole muscles consists of the abductor hallucis and the flexor digitorum brevis, the medial half. So abductor hallucis and the flexor digitorum brevis of the medial half and the plantar aponeurosis of the medial half, which forms the tie beam, that is it forms the arch, the medial longitudinal arch. Okay, in lateral there is a lateral half of the plantar aponeurosis, so lateral half of the plantar aponeurosis, and the other muscles like the abductor digiti minimi and the flexor digitorum brevis here also, but the lateral half of the flexor digitorum brevis forms the of the superficial muscle from the tie beam. Now coming to the sling. Sling is the one which supports this tie. This arch is supported with a tie, which is support from the above. It is known as sling. So the sling is formed by the tibialis posterior. From above downward, there is tibialis posterior, flexor digitorum longus, and the flexor hallucis longus. So tibialis posterior, flexor digitorum longus, and flexor hallucis longus. This forms the sling. So the flexor tibialis posterior is attached to the navicular, and the flexor digitorum longus is attached to the digit, that is the metatarsal, and the flexor hallucis longus is attached to the first hallux, that is the first metatarsal. So this forms the sling. So it is supports upward. And here the sling is formed by the peroneus longus and the peroneus brevis. The peroneus longus is a longus, that means it is a long muscle which is attached with this fossa inside the cuboid, and it is attached to the base of the first metatarsal. And the peroneus brevis is attached to the fifth metatarsal. So this peroneus longus and brevis forms the sling. So this holds the arch upward. Now coming to the suspension. The suspension in both the case is formed by the both the arch, that is the medial longitudinal arch and the lateral longitudinal arch is formed by the tibialis anterior and the